mass destruction? Because it went over big last week. What happened?
I was just trying to figure out. I pulled that article, and I was just trying to figure out where the
All right, I'll cover for you. Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, but do you know what's happening? The grand jury's meeting, and they're not going to meet in just one place, Kieran. They're going to go from place to place to place because Tom Snedden wants to give the grand jurors some peace of mind and wants the people and doesn't want a big stakeout and a big show.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime Michael Jackson's involved, that's what happens. But there was a really funny quote in this article, and it's okay. But you know what? On the Michael Jackson issue, Greg Palcott was doing a story out of Afghanistan yesterday, and he said,
I know.
Did you hear about this?
I read his reporter's notebook on FoxNews.com.
You did?
Yeah.
So that's pretty funny. Tell the story.
Well, essentially, the special ops go into every town. If they want to know if this town is actually with it and possibly a terrorist provider of goods and services, they say, you know who Michael Jackson is? And if they look bewildered, they say, okay, these guys aren't complicit.
That's right. They say that knowing Michael Jackson is, I guess, one of the prerequisites of whether or not you're helping it and aiding and abetting Al-Qaeda.
Right.
I'm sure Michael Jackson's thrilled.
True. And 19 jurors, 6 alternates will hear all this testimony, including from the accuser, the accuser's brother, and this child psychologist. It all starts this week. 12 of those jurors have to say Michael needs to be tried for this to move ahead.
That's right. So let's talk about the dirty driving situation. This is crazy.
Oh, dirty driving? I thought we were talking Tycho.
Oh, I thought you said no more Tycho.
All right, we're doing Tycho.
Okay.
Kozlowski. The bald swindler, the big business guy, the guy's accused of taking millions of dollars, billions of dollars from his company. Well, essentially, this is a locked jury, a hung jury. We got a problem here, but it looks like the problem is one juror in particular, and she showed herself late last week.
Yeah, this was the older lady who apparently at the age of 58 went and got a law degree. She's supposed to be very eccentric.
Admirable.
Yeah, of course, there you see her. It's never too late to go back to law school. Right. Never. And apparently, as the defense team filtered into the room, she gave them this A-OK sign, you know, the thumb and the forefinger.
To Kozlowski and his team.
She went, A-OK. And it caused a huge uproar. Apparently, the jurors were already very frustrated with this one juror who they say hands down believes he's not guilty and there should be no charges against him. So instead of declaring a mistrial, this has cost a lot of money. The judge says, you know what? Let's take some time to cool off. Take a lunch break, take the weekend to sleep on it. We'll come back Monday. We'll see what happens.
Word is he's going to have to say, hung jury, we got to do this all over again because, you know, the prosecution is going to go after him again. So they'll have to do this whole entire trial again.
And even if she does change her mind and come around or whatever happens, you know, there's still always the possibility, you know, that they'd have to do this entire thing all over again.
Who would do that?
That's the thing about picking jurors.
Do you remember 12 Angry Men?
You never know.
Remember 12 Angry Men? You guys remember that?
What, you mean hanging out down in the newsroom?
No, there was more than 12, and there's some women involved. But these 12 angry men are the jurors. You should know that. You should be forced to watch this movie before you actually serve in something like this. So there's a lot of tension there.
You should be forced to watch this particular movie in your car. You have a long drive every day.
Right, and I have a DVD player, but there's 4 people in the back seat, not people in the front seat. But some who use the DVD players are not putting kids' movies in there.
No, apparently you can watch X-rated films. There's no state that specifically prohibits playing pornography on a screen in a car.
Right now, all those people are watching dirty movies.
As if you're not distracted enough on the road. This is the last thing you need. But they say a growing number of motorists are outfitting their cars with the DVD players, and, you know, they're entertaining their restless tots with cartoons, and they're entertaining their restless selves with something else.
And there's going to be, now that in Schenectady, they arrested a guy for public display of nudity against the law, movement violation, some type of movement violation. But they arrested a guy last month, and they charged him. But now that all these states and all these towns are starting to band together, the same people that brought you got a fine for tucking on your cell phone without an earpiece are going to say you're watching a dirty movie because you pull up next to, let's say, a station wagon full of children en route to a baseball game, and they look over to the right to see maybe if they recognize the person inside, and next thing you know, they're watching, you know, Debbie Does Dallas.
Yeah, that's so played out.
That's the only one I know.
Nobody watches that anymore.
Really?
But this one says that there are 38 states that have laws saying that the TV,
all right, how about this one?
The driver cannot watch TV in general.
The guy in Schenectady was watching chocolate foam. All right, that's all I know, and he got himself in a lot of trouble.
Isn't that what you always request in your coffee in the morning?
No, and that's
all right.
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry, you prefer what? Just a little bit of milk and some
I don't want any coffee ever again.
All right. Let's check in with Lauren Green. She's got to look at the news for us, including the latest in Iraq.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. British soldiers mixed it up in the streets of Basra, Iraq. They were trying to evict an Islamic political party that had taken over a building belonging to a local women's group. Iraqis set fires and threw stones while British troops responded with rubber bullets and tear gas. British forces also had to fend off at least one Iraqi who tried to grab one of their rifles. 3 civilians were hurt in the fighting. Israel's Supreme Court has ordered Ariel Sharon's son to hand over documents to corruption investigators. The decision comes a day after a prosecutor said the prime minister and his son should be indicted on bribery charges. Sharon has denied any wrongdoing in the scandal, centering on a real estate deal in Greece. Meantime, Israeli forces swept into the West Bank town of Nablus. Palestinians fought back with Molotov cocktails and gunfire. Vitamin E may protect against a deadly form of cancer. Texas scientists say people who get lots of the vitamin in their diets have half the occurrence of bladder cancer as those who get little of it. The best kind seems to be found in foods like almonds, spinach, and oils like olive and canola. Bladder cancer kills more than 12,000 Americans every year, most of them men. We'll break out the Scooby Snacks. The Mystery Machine Gang has solved the secret of box office success. Scooby-Doo 2 grabbed $30 million over the weekend, enough to make it the top dog at the theaters. The Scooby sequel beat the Tom Hanks' new comedy, The Lady Killers, and rounding out the top 5, The Passion of the Christ, Dawn of the Dead, and Jersey Girl. And now let's go back to Brian. He's going to take a look at the sports.
Hey, thank you very much, Lauren. Hey, we started with 65. Now we got 4, and there were sensational games over the weekend. Am I right, guys? Yeah. Absolutely. We're talking college hoops, and neither Kansas nor Georgia Tech was going out quietly. Talk about overtime. Freshman J.R. Giddens ties the game in 66 with 16 seconds left for the Jayhawks. Sending the game into the extra session, and Tech takes over. They really had the best to play in regulation and in the overtime. The final score is 79-71. Bring on Oklahoma State. And we'll tell you what happened elsewhere. Duke and Xavier at the Atlantic Regional. J.J. Redick's three-pointer with 2:55 left. Duke wins 66-63. They'll play UConn next Saturday in San Antonio. Hey, let's move on and talk a little Olympics. Serena Williams is a really good tennis player. Will represent the U.S. in the Olympics. Wait a second. Hold that thought, because if Athens doesn't get the security system handled, she will not go. She'll just decide to stay home. Okay, that's up to you. Let's keep talking teens and women. LPGA Championship. Look how well they're doing. 14-year-old Michelle Wie, a fourth-place finish. 17-year-old Ari Song makes a move on 18, seeking a long putt for a share of the lead. She gets pumped, and 25-year-old Grace Park makes her birdie to seal the deal, and that is pretty good experience for her age. When we come back, the inside story on swimming and the Olympics. Gary Holt Jr., don't go away.
Today's wedding Salem, Portland, and Vancouver.